Hello and welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Your chance to win a virtual £1 million by simply answering 15 questions in a row correctly.
Bet you weren't expecting this. It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for the PlayStation. Yeah, I didn't put this one on the preview list episode. I mean, what could be a more pleasant surprise? We used to watch this program every week back when it was new. Sort of fell off back when it added the timer to the format and became almost exclusively like 6-episode series of just celebrity specials. I've played this years ago. I once had the chance to get free pirated PS1 games, and on that list I chose Tekken free, Spyro free, and this. I know, great choice. But we all played it a lot. None of us ever got that £1 million though. As you could tell by the first few seconds, we got Chris Tarrant's voiceover in the game, but no FMV footage or terrifying low poly model like in other game show based video games. Tarrant was always an enjoyable host, and he's one of those children's TV show presenters around since before I was born who hasn't turned out to be either a massive dickhead or a sex pest. Let's keep it that way, Chris, don't let me down. So yeah, Tarrant left in 2014 and the show was cancelled until being brought back last year, hosted by Jeremy Clarkson. I have no interest. But the game? I don't know how multiplayer would work, I'm just doing one player. I have Tarrant explain the rules, but I don't think I need to go in much depth. Gotta get 15 questions right in a row, and I got my 50-50 phone a friend and ask the audience. Now let's start.
Right, here we go. You're 15 questions away from £1 million. And if you're ready to play, have a look at this for £100.
First question. Easy. William Tell shot an arrow at an apple on his son's head. For £200, also easy. French horn belongs to the brass section of an orchestra. Next question. Post haste means as fast as possible. For £500, the big issue is solved by the homeless. For question 5, the Richter scale does not measure temperature.
If this answer is correct, you're guaranteed to leave here with at least £1,000. Well done, it is the right answer.
Well, that's the first milestone reached. For £2,000, the novel is called Catcher in the Rye. Crap, I don't know this one. It's about fruit. Let's just say fruit has never been a big part of my life. I guess Eve's pudding contains apples.
It's the right answer, you've got £4,000. Well done.
Great, another one I don't know. The cor anglais belongs to which family of instruments? I'll ask the audience. I guess I'll go with the audience. Shit, no, I meant to choose B.
You had £4,000. You could have walked away. You didn't. You've now got £8,000.
Huh. Okay, for £16,000, which animals are famously run through the streets of Pamplona? I don't know this either. Bulls?
Well done, you just won £16,000.
I don't know how common knowledge some of this is, so I don't know how stupid I look right now. Which of these countries has never won a World Cup? I don't know football, but I remember during the 2006 World Cup, I had a geography class talking about the World Cup and we had to look into the winners, and I specifically remember seeing all of them but the Netherlands.
You did have £16,000 in your hand. You've now got £32,000.
Who turned Odysseus' companions into pigs? I read a version of the Odyssey in primary school about 16 or 17 years ago, but I can't remember. I don't know, Calypso sounds familiar, so that.
Well, you were guaranteed a cheque for £32,000, and I'm afraid that's still all you'll leave with. That's the wrong answer.
Balls. Well, I get my pretend cheque and my final prize added to the high scoreboard, which you can't save, so what's the point? Also, there's only 16 possible scores to have in this game. Well, let's try again. After a couple more early failures, I need a change of strategy. Centre of a dartboard, bullseye. What's a Doberman? A dog. Say cheese, taking a photograph. What did Howard Carter discover in the 1920s? Tutankhamun's tomb. Who wrote about the famous five? Enid Blyton. Back to the slightly harder questions now. The Melbourne Cup is the highlight of the racing in which country? I said harder questions, it's clearly Australia. For £4,000, Hawkeye's from MASH, another easy one. For £8,000, the drama City Central highlights which profession? I don't know. My choices are social work, medicine, accountancy, and police. I'll go with police, which turns out to be right. For 16 grand, Mansfield Park features in the title of a Jane Austen novel. Now to get back to where I was. Which tree has catkins, sometimes known as lamb's tails? I don't know trees. My choices are willow, beech, hazel, and sycamore. Hazel? Good. For £64,000, which animal shares its name with an edict or order from the Pope? Well, I can go with bull, ram, stag, or boar. Maybe bull? Yeah, bull.
You had £32,000 in your hand. Not anymore. You've now got £64,000.
The extinct moa was a bird native to which country? Don't know birds either, especially dead ones. It could be Australia, or Sri Lanka, I don't know. But maybe it's the Philippines, or New Zealand? I think I'll go with New Zealand.
You had a cheque for £64,000. Not anymore. You've now got a cheque for £125,000.
Can't believe me luck. Hope I can keep it up. 3 questions left. The Caribbean island of Curacao belongs to which European country? I don't know. France? No, I think it might be Belgium. Or it could be the Netherlands. Or Spain. Nah, I'll go Netherlands.
You had a cheque for £125,000. You no longer have that. You've now got a cheque for £250,000.
Getting nervous now. Which Pacific country is Nuku'alofa the capital of? I've never heard of it. I'm edging towards the first 2 because they're the only ones I've heard of. I've never heard of Vanuatu or Tuvalu. I think I'm gonna go Samoa because Tonga just doesn't sound right. Actually, no, I choose Tonga.
You've just risked an awful lot of money on one question. You had £250,000 and you could have walked away. You've been very, very brave. Your reward is a cheque for £500,000. £500,000. Well done. Right, you now have a cheque for £500,000. But we don't want to give you that.
Yay, said it. Okay, last question. The cat from Cinderella. I know this one, it's Lucifer.
So you think it's A? You just risked £468,000 by going for that answer. It was a risk, and you knew it was a risk. But it was a risk worth taking. You have just won £1 million. You've done it. Fantastic. Congratulations. You are a millionaire on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
And there's my pretend million. Thanks, Chris. Not much to say about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's a basic, enjoyable quiz game. Does its job emulating the program well, but there's very little to it. However, it's going to be useful to my rankings. This kind of game will be used to separate below average games from the truly crap ones. Of course, right now I have only 2 bad games ranked, and the next one above that is decent, but it'll help in the future.